Sometimes, I can't tell the difference between hopeful and hurtful. Like sometimes my hope is dependent on my good and bad decisions instead of God's promise of presence and faithful forgiveness. I had forgotten the God who had redeemed me. I had forgotten the salvation that had preceded me. I abandoned the hope set out from before the fabric of creation. I abandoned the gospel of reconciliation. I neglected the king who saw it fit to bleed for the pariahs. I neglected the pariahs who Christ came to deem worthwhile. Forgive me. I built up business instead of faith, and in my distress I've turned to God to lift up my fame instead of my face. I'm drowning in my own conceit, and I'm losing the battle of stability as hope seems to drift away from me. My mess is less of a message when my hope is placed in soft saviors. It's a sad state when in my conceit I would rather worship creation instead of Creator. Have mercy. And I pray to God for his mercies, but in my fallacy condemn everyone who disagrees. Hypocrisy, my Lord, is far too often my abilities, and Satan far too often resembles my humility. I would rather cry, crucify my lowliness, than I would crucify my flesh. My worst enemy lives inside of me, and we call him Mr. Flesh. And I must confess that Mr. Flesh builds my hope on nothing less than sinfulness. I was always afraid of critique because I was obsessed with what others would think of me. I was a lofty thinker, and I often thought so haughtily due to my self-absorbed paradigm. I forgot about the blood of Christ who had lovingly bought me perspective. So let the cross of Christ be sufficient, and let the hope you hold be rooted in forgiveness. Allow the strength of the Son to sustain you. Allow the blood of the Lamb to save you. Reject the hope that is harmful. Accept the hope that is the gospel.
I had paper thin promises, hollowed out hopiness. Faith so fragile it was swallowed by brokenness. Unqualified, traumatized, so convinced hope was a land foreign on the route so eclipsed. But every trial that is heavy now only reminds me of his wedding vows. He will never leave or forsake, even when evil is eager to take the meekest people. It strengthens our faith. I've had the fog of fear fall so hard on my eyes. I see you and my child fighting hard to survive. I see you in the trial. My God, you're alive. So crush every idol, pull the props from my side. And summer hope is anchored in the seas of eternity. And I see you with certainty through any adversity. And hope hinges on your life, death, and resurrection. No attempt from the devil can suffer precious perfection. So remove every comfort and illusion of some worth until you've done enough work. And my sandcastle kingdom is defeated by your tide of tender mercy, washing away my legalistic lies. The hope is only held by the holiest who dwell in places of performance, and no one can be frail. But this hope isn't for sale, not a wage I can claim. I lay my burden down and get hope in exchange. But see, hope has a name. God with us, behold, and I'm slain, roaming like a lion on the lowliest plains. Cause he rose from the grave, see that stone rolled away, so my hope never fades. Rose from the grave, so my hope never fades. Rose from the grave, so my hope never fades.